Hi, my name's Ian Robinson. I'm an instructor at Newbury Park Martial Arts Center, and I've been an orthopedic physical therapist for 30 years. So I'm going to be giving some 15-minute segments on different topics that I think might be pertinent. Given the extraordinary circumstances that we're all going through, some of you might find yourselves at a desk in front of a computer. So I'd like to go over some of the orthopedic things that might be pertinent for that, sort of those circumstances. We're going to talk about the workstation, ergonomics of a good workstation, what to look for in a good chair, how we can interact properly with our chair so that we maintain good structure and balance. Some of the injuries that can occur because of use of the keyboard. And so we'll be talking about the exercises and stretches and things that we can use to prevent, carpal tunnel and wrist strains, forearm strains, when we're engaging in activities for extended periods of time. So, first thing is the workstation. I've set up this kind of little mini workstation to simulate, somebody being at a desk, but more expanded so that it's easier to see. So, first of all, is the different parts of the workstation. A chair, for instance, the chair I'm sitting in is a real nice one. But the things that we'd ideally want in a chair would be, for instance, the ability for the chair to go up and down. This allows me to have 90 degrees of flexion at the knee. I don't want to be squatting down like this, and neither would I want to be so high that my feet were dangling. You want your feet on the ground. The second is that very often with chairs, we conform to its technology. In other words, whatever the shape of the chair is, we kind of just fit into it. Most chairs are not designed particularly well in terms of human ergonomics. They have a flat back or even sometimes a rounded back, which puts us, even in a flat back chair, puts us in a, what I call banana back posture. And of course a rounded chair would really do that, so you're sort of sitting here like this. And given some of the, the news and information on posture and how posture affects our moods, our ability to think. What is this? This is like instantaneous depression, It's like, I'm going to start working now, that's a good plan. It's like, as opposed to, being up and centered. So a good chair will have a fall off in the front so that the chair doesn't dig into the back of the legs. Height, change it, that you can change height. A lumbar part of the section, so that it does conform to the low back. Ideally, this would be movable too, because we are not all built the same. And so, again, the chair should conform to us. In this segment, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in terms of actual sitting posture. I have a whole segment on that I will do later. So next would be the monitor, which is, and this is a seriously virtual monitor. It's so virtual I can't even see it. But if I was sitting at my chair, so I would sit back and be sitting up. The monitor, as it sits directly in front of me, not off to the sides. These are an ideal situation. So the monitor, the top of the monitor would be at eye level, plus or minus 2 inches. And then the keyboard, as I sit forward, actually let me back up a bit, because we're going to use a couple of the concepts that we use in our self-defense classes. As we stand and we're ready to receive, somebody's strange idea of their reality. So I'm sitting there waiting, right? So I'm in balance. I'm stacking my bones, so I'm in kamae. My hand position is where the elbows are down. down and relaxed. My forearms are resting upon my bones. So I'm sitting right here ready to go. This is pretty much the same position that I would utilize sitting in a chair. So at a keyboard. So I'm here. Ideally, my arms would be pretty much kind of settled right here. And so then the keyboard would be positioned so that as I drop my hands, there we go. We'd be able to go right here. So I'd be staring at the monitor, doing my thing. The chair is supporting me. The whole point of all of this is so that the technology is positioning ourselves so well that it feels like, oh my gosh, this is so relaxed. You know, I could be like this for hours. Well, you probably will be there for hours. So being in a position where you can do things without straining yourself is going to be better than in a position where you are straining yourself. You know, it's like, you know, the monitor's too far away. So, you know, you unconsciously keep sort of leaning in order to get the right angle of focus instead of adjusting the monitor so that you can be sitting upright in a relaxed, comfortable stack position, the head's being supported by your neck, and be able to look straight at the monitor. Hand position is easy, you know, da-da-da-da. And so it's like I can maintain this nice relaxed position for hours. So the keyboard design are pretty standard in most instances. They were based upon the old typewriter. And so there was not actually a lot of serious ergonomic thought that went into the position of the keys and how we now function with them. So over the course of years, when I have been treating people for carpal tunnel or wrist sprains, especially those who have garnered them in a work environment from overuse at a keyboard, some of the that's a poor pun. Some of the important things to keep in mind are that if I'm sitting and with my arms down and my hands relaxed, my forearms and my hand position naturally actually wants to be at about a 45. In order to bring my hands flat, in order to get to the keyboard, I have to engage musculature in my forearms to maintain that position. So when we're talking about things in order to keep ourselves healthy, we need to look at sort of those things that make our bodies unhappy. So if I'm doing things that are causing a lot of muscular effort, that's going to fatigue the body. If I'm putting my body in position that's really straining joints, that is going to irritate the body. And our bodies will tell us. They'll complain. And the first way they complain is through either soreness, and if we don't pay any attention to that, they will start causing us pain. And that is our body communicating to us. It's not a bad thing. This is a good thing. The body's saying, hey, you have conditions in your life that are causing me to stress in terms of, you know, the body, right? So please change that, and I'm giving you a little bit of pain in order for you to recognize that. If we ignore it, then the body, which I often equate as a 2-year-old child, says, oh, so you didn't get that memo, hey? You didn't think that little bit of pain was enough? Fine. How about some more pain? And a little higher amounts of pain. And such it would go, increasing amounts of pain until eventually we did pay attention. However, we don't want to let it go so far that we now have a serious problem going. Ergonomically, we have some interesting things going. So forearm supination. And you can remember that by, it's like a bowl of soup, supination. And the other term is pronation. So in order to place the hands in position, we have to pronate them. There's only 2 major muscles that pronate the forearm. We have a little one here called the quadratus pronator, and then the pronator teres, which starts off at the medial epicondyle and then attaches to the medial part of the radius. And so those would rotate the arm over so they're flat. there are three muscles that do supination. The supinator, the supinator, I'm forgetting one of them, but the principal one is, interesting enough, the biceps brachii. So, and you can feel it. So the bicep muscle is a real strong muscle. And if you put your hand on your forearm and just rotate the forearm, you can feel the bicep popping up as we go into supination. So if we're going along and we're typing away, having to hold the hand in pronation, those muscles start to fatigue. And so these muscles that work in the opposite direction, the supinators, which aren't being fatigued, will start to kick in and say, oh, you're tired, let us help. But they start trying to rotate our muscles into supination. So that causes the arms to have to work even harder. So, breaks, take breaks. Set a timer, 20 minutes, half an hour, where we can give our body a little bit of a break. Stand up, move around a bit. In terms of forearms, is that as I'm typing away and I want to now take a break, so I'm going to just back away. Initially, it's like all of this activity has caused fatigue and a constriction of the musculature, which causes a constriction of the blood vessels and a lack of flow of blood. So the recovery is really a means of increasing the blood flow to the forearms and the hands. So we pull back and right back into this position where the forearms are supported, and I'll just, might wave them around a bit, very, little bit of movement, drop the arms to the side, wave them here, open and close them. This is already causing improved circulation through the forearm and the hands. In order to actually stretch, pull the hands back from here and just push it out. Oh, like that. And relax again, shake it out. Drop your hands into kind of a skippy grip. Push those forward. It's like, oh, yeah, just let them stretch out. Don't cause yourself pain. Do not cause yourself discomfort. That's very, very important. Listen to your body. Do things in the realm of comfort. I can bring my hands over, do a reverse push. And so push forward, underneath. This guy, skippy grip, hands up this way. And just in terms of moving the hands around. Get back to it. But again, the most important thing is to listen to your body. Take things in stages. In another segment, we'll get into stretches in order to stretch out the trunk and the neck while we're doing something like this. And we're also going to do a series of structural stretches for other parts of the body, standing, sitting, some laying down. Okay? So that's the end of our first segment. Hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, I think we can work with some. I'm not quite sure how Chris is working out that sort of interaction, but I will be involved in some of the classes that we have during the week. So questions could be asked if you see me there during actual virtual Zoom class. Okay? That's it, and thank you so much.